Hi, my name is Paul Salamanca, and here's a top 1% sales tip I call the cold call cadence. So you've heard before the debate of people saying that cold calling is dead, and I think the people who are saying that have never actually taken the time to master the art of cold calling and probably suck at it. That's probably why it's easier for them to say that, since they didn't really invest a lot of time mastering the art of cold calling. So I can tell you that it's not dead, it's far from dead, and it's been one of the biggest keys to my success. And I still use it today to shake loose deals, and I call C-levels to shake deals that have been stuck in the sales process for months so we can shake it loose. So I use cold calling all the time, and it's really helped me out a lot. And I can tell you that the first phase of cold calling is really broken down into 3 steps. First is the intro phase. So it doesn't matter if you're a junior level person or if you're an experienced salesperson. The intro is the same, but the tone of voice is what you really need to create that equal business stature. So as long as you have that tone of voice and you're coming across as a business person versus a telemarketer or salesperson, that's going to shine through very quickly. So after that, what I like to do is open it up and follow up with a compliment. That compliment again leads to my main objective, which is to ask if I caught them at a bad time. And it's kind of funny because a couple of weeks ago I actually saw this post on LinkedIn saying, hey, did I catch you at a bad time? What a terrible way to start off a cold call. Of course it's a bad time. And I've heard a lot of pros and cons about this, but I can tell you I was shocked because I've been using that I catch you at a bad time for over 15 years, and it's worked for me almost every single time I was given that window of opportunity to at least pitch why I was calling. And I couldn't figure out why that was. And the reason why I started to say that 15 plus years ago was because that was the first objection I used to hear. When I pick up the phone, I'd call somebody and they say, hey Paul, you called me at a bad time, I gotta go, call me later. So I started to use that to my advantage. When I would call, I'd say, did I catch you at a bad time? And make them come up with another objection, because that almost became their auto response to say this is a bad time. But once I put that out on the table, we dismissed this, and I respected his time by asking for it, usually I would get that window of opportunity. So I started to wonder, does that no longer work today? Are people maybe not setting it up with the compliment properly? I couldn't figure out why. So it wasn't until about 2 or 3 days ago I get a call from a salesperson who says, hey Paul, James here with the ABC company. Did I catch you at a bad time? And then it hit me. This could be the reason why it's not working for so many people. It's not so much what you're saying as it is how you're saying it. There needs to be a cadence, a rhythm to what you're saying. And you don't get this rhythm by saying it a couple of times. You can't rush to, hey, did I catch you at a bad time? You have to have this precise rhythm to what you're saying, and it has to come off so smooth, so perfectly, and you don't get that by rehearsing it a couple of times. If it sounds rehearsed, that's because you haven't rehearsed it enough. It has to be exactly the way this sounds just right now. So I'm going to say almost the exact same thing, but with a different rhythm. So the way I open up is, hey James, Paul here with the ABC. It's a pleasure to finally speak with you. Did I catch you at a bad time? Sounds about the same, but there is a rhythm to that. So when I say Paul here, hey James, Paul here with ABC. It's a pleasure to finally speak with you. That's the compliment that I get. Depending on my seniority, my title, my position, I may soften up on the compliment, but it's always good to give that compliment because there's a better chance that he will or she will give you that time once you ask for it. So when I say it's a pleasure to finally speak with you, you have to be genuine about it. And the way to do that is to smile and to really say it's a pleasure to finally speak with you, because that smile comes across the phone. And when you think about it, when I used to make over 100 cold calls before lunchtime, and most people don't answer their phones, when I finally got a decision maker on the phone, to me, it really was a pleasure to finally talk to somebody. So by me saying that, hey, it's a pleasure to finally speak with you, did I catch you at a bad time? That 2-second pause, or that 2-cycle pause, is when they're trying to figure out, do I know this person? Wow, that was a nice compliment. How do I respond to that? Right before they're about to respond, then you're hitting them again and asking them, hey, did I catch you at a bad time? And you know what? You'll hear, it's never a good time. They kind of joke about it, especially after you give them that compliment, but what's up? What do you have for me? So you'll find out that they're always giving you this window. to get into phase 2. And that's all you're looking for in phase 1, is to have that window to get into phase 2. So there's some times where you may hear, you know what, it's really not a good time. Can you call me back, or can we do this some other time? And this is where you can actually retreat right away. You don't push back and you say, yeah, no problem. When's a better time for me to reach you? And guess what? Most of the time they're going to say, well, what is this regarding? Boom, they're giving you that window again to get into phase 2. And for those very few times where the person may really be running into a meeting and may not have 2 minutes, maybe they thought you were someone else, they may say to you, okay, well, why don't you call me back next week? And you write it down, you put it on your calendar, you may even send them an invite to follow up. Whether or not they accept, it doesn't matter, because you're going to call back at that time anyway. And now when you call back, instead of saying, did I catch you at a bad time, you use that same scenario, but now you're saying, it's a pleasure to speak with you again. Hopefully I caught you at a better time. So now that sparks up their memory, where they remember you were polite enough to ask if you caught them at a bad time, and now you're following up again. And more than likely, I can guarantee you that they're going to give you that window of opportunity to get to phase 2. So like this video, if you thought it was helpful, like it, share it, love it, post it, comment. And if you missed any of my other sales tips, you could go to my YouTube channel, Paul Salamanca, or you can visit paulsalamanca.com.
Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now the whole team here. I done kept it real from the jump.